Daniel says, do we have a second microphone?
No.
Brilliant. Oh, so it's just back and forth. Excellent. Did you start with the co-commentator?
No.
That's fine. Couldn't.
I had a Jesus, for a couple overs.
Sure.
This is we got it sorted.
Now, next question is the
Has that changed? No.
Oh, hello. Okay. Yep.
Thought that was... Yes. That sounds good.
And finally, we have audio, we have video more importantly, so you can see the Waveriders and the Kings here on the outer field at Ivor Marsden Field. As Sam Wilson from the Kings is on strike, if you've been following the scoreboard, you'll see that the Kings are batting. It was tossed by mutual arrangement. The Waveriders onto the field. The Kings wanted to bat, and so the Waveriders have taken a little bit of stick early. And it is the Kings who are off to a good start with Sam Wilson and Josh Cooper. This is the penultimate round of the Brisbane Premier League, the inaugural Mazda Brisbane Premier League. My name's Daniel Viles. With me is Elliot Lyons and Kush Rang. He's swatted over mid-wicket by Sam Wilson. And it's cleared the boundary for 6, and so not so much the carnage, but the aggression continues for the Kings.
Yeah, and these two informed batsmen, they really are putting their foot to the throttle here and dealing mainly in boundaries or maximums, as Jack Cooper, who turned up yesterday in the Queensland Premier League competition, continues his form and big hitting with another maximum there off the informed man Kushram, who's been another revelation, as you mentioned earlier. Dan moved up from the Sydney grade cricket competition to join us here in Queensland, and with the scoreboard at 43, none for 43 or 4.2, they need something special from him here, but Cooper's gone again, and that's out. He's picked out the man on the mid-off boundary in the third ball after the power play, and that's the breakthrough that the Waveriders are looking for. And at 1 for 43, Dan, how are you seeing things?
Well, he was right to go after the half volley there. The Kings are clearly on top. They've just come off a big win over on the other field against the Western Power, which means they will qualify for the semi-finals next week out at Wellington Point at the Redlands ground. New batter number 7 is Tom Healy, who's captain today in the absence of the injured Andrew Godey. And he's no slouch with the bat himself, and I suspect that while the Kings will want to finish off on a high note, they definitely want to win this game, but they are also looking to rotate the squad, make sure that players who haven't had a hit yet still get through. The Waveriders, even if they lose this game, they'll have another chance to make it to the finals, and so the Kings are probably looking to make sure that their entire squad has faced this opposition and is confident against them.
Call there, Dan, and they've drafted well with the Kings. This is a stacked batting lineup, as you mentioned earlier. A couple of key bats out of this lineup, and these top two getting them off to an absolute flyer. It's going to be an interesting design of the final series. Next weekend down at Redlands, so if you are tuning in, folks, next weekend won't be how the is at Redlands, so come down and watch live. Bush ran with the breakthrough. He's in again, and back foot there, pushes that one to the man who's in close, stopping the single there at cover for a dot, and fly down the wicket. The breakthrough does change the pace of things, and Shram, as you said earlier, the man that, informed man, and the breakthrough looks like he's Waveriders back on top as he's in again. That's a bit straighter and quite getting any of that there, but they're through for a single, and that brings Sam Wilson back on strike. Tom Healy, rather.
Well, Kush Ram is fast in his way. He's bowled a lot of wides in this tournament, and as such, he tends to bowl 2 overs at the beginning, and then he's shelved. Here, they've held him back for a little bit, but and if you're from the Sydney grade competition, thinking, hang on, I know Kush Ram. Yes, it's him. He's the one who played for Petersham Randwick for a long time with people like Jason Sanger, Daniel Sams, and a certain opener who had to serve a ban for a little while. Push round again, first ball to Healy, that's back of the length, and Healy just rides that one, pushes it to the left-hand side of the man who's at cover there, and off strike through for a single. And it's clever batting here by Healy, new to the crease, and Wilson, who by all accounts has been putting them everywhere, brings him back on strike, although only 14 off 14 balls.
in the King's language is quite slow going there.
Well, he was letting his opening partner Jack Cooper do all the work. Cooper played the support role to Josh Brown in the earlier game, and have a look on YouTube or on the BPL app after this, because the Josh Brown show was definitely worth tuning in for twice. Go back and watch the centre from last week as well. But you're right, they do tend to have good combinations with one aggressor and one who turns over the strike, which, to be honest, there's nothing new about that in the game of cricket. That's pretty much Partnerships 101.
Yeah, and there's one thing we've noticed with the revelation of T20 cricket, it's that almost conventional cricket, 9 times out of 10, is the best way to go in terms of partnerships and strategy. But new bowler to the crease here, Harry McNeely. He's been a great bowler for the Waveriders so far this competition. Tall, fast, right armour. And what can he do here for the Waveriders? 1 for 45 after 5. He's going to need to slow the run rate, if anything. And McNeely into Healy. That's full and swinging away, and an outside edge. If there was a slip there, he would have swallowed it. But with third man on the boundary, he's still unable to get to it, which just goes to show how fine the edge was. And that's a boundary, and in the scorebook, they all look the same, Dan.
They do. McNeely coming off a century in grade cricket yesterday as well. Scored 1 for Toombul against Ipswich. Unfortunately, Harry Wood scored his 2nd century of the season, and so Toombul, poor balls ended up going down. But next thing to start with the ball here for Harry.
Yeah, recently appointed skipper of Toombul, McNeely, and swings away again, and they push through for a quick single there. That's good running, great batting, and good partnership batting again there, Dan.
That was a very subtle change down, if you like. A little slowing of the pace from McNeely, which meant that Healy had to check his shot. So he is shown in 2 balls that he's a thinker with the white pill in hand.
These 21st century cricketers play quite a significant role with both bat and ball, and McNeely, a prime example of that. Here he is to Sam Wilson. Do for the left-hander, and that just goes the other way. Looked like he was pushing through a bit of an outswinger to the left-hander there, and Wilson moved across his crease looking to take on the vacant deep mid-wicket region, but dot the result.
I think you've paid far too much credit to the amount of thought that Wilson put into that shot. I think that was good ball.
Which has done him pretty well so far, this competition, Sam Wilson. But McNeely too good there. He's lined that one. Oh, that's gone big back towards the left-hander there. And seems to be the first bowler today, on this wicket at least, that has got the Kookaburra singing. And that one, quite a bit of movement there out of the hand of McNeely.
It was almost 2-piece movement, that, and I like it when a bowler with the 4-piece ball can get the seam position right and get that late swing, which is just beautiful to see.
Absolutely, and McNeely in again here to Wilson. That's a bit straighter, and pushing at that a little bit, gets an inside edge, and it goes to the man who's on the ring at mid-wicket, Gal Chowdhury, and they push through for a single. So good rotation of strike here, and good batting by the Kings. 50 up for the Northern Kings, and just 5.5 overs. That run rate is skyrocketing, Dan. What are the Waveriders looking for here? How can they put the brakes on the Northern Kings?
Just stay after this ball.
Nearly into Healy, and just rides that one around the corner, turns it down to the man at short fine for a single.
I've noticed Rajiv Chandrasekhar with his field placements throughout the tournament tends to be fairly conservative. It's more just set the rings. I find that when you've got a team batting that is going to take you on and hit over the top, you do actually need to put little temptations around the field. Just make sure that it's like, okay, I'll leave the gap at cover, but I'll make sure that for the miss hit, I've got 2 behind square on the offside. And I'd like to see a bit more of that from Chandrasekhar rather than just set the ring and just hope that the pressure will take the wicket, because you don't have enough time to build that kind of pressure in T20 cricket. So I'd like to see him be a bit more imaginative.
Yeah, it's a fair point you raised there, Dan, and be the reason why they're on the outskirts of finals. The pressure on them here, they're really going to want to tame this run rate. Nearly on strike. That's Wayward, which you mentioned there, from can't afford to have too many sundries here, the Waveriders. It's just free runs and extra deliveries, which the less of them the better to the Northern Kings side.
And a bit of applause for keeper Patrick Cotter on that occasion. Rightly so. That was an excellent takedown to leg side. Anticipated well.
Yeah, Patrick Cotter, of course, the Toombul product. It's been very clean behind the stumps. Push Ramin again. That's full. And well played by Healy, who's just guided that one down to third man for a single. Really playing the support role quite well here, but they have put a bit of a squeeze on here, the Waveriders. Right hand, left hand combination, of course, isn't going to do too many favours here, so he's really going to need to dial down the field spread with a deep square long on the onside. Shroud producing his drags it, and that's absolutely clobbered out to point boundary as here the combox just about joins them in the centre there.
It's my first catch of the season.
Bit of wind here for Marsden.
I'm going to head off for a while and leave you with Elliot to go get some pegs.
Might be a good plan here as the wind blows directly from behind us to the far side here, folks. As you see it from the camera. Ramin again. Left hand Wilson in his front leg up there, looking to open up that onside with just a single down the ground and long on. But it really does squeeze on here for the Waveriders, which they did need. Probably can't see it on the screen there, folks, but they've got a man at deep square, long on, deep cover rather, and third man, Ramin again, that's a bit fuller. But Healy manages a 1 to the man at mid-wicket on the ring. Safety won't be too happy with them picking up 1s, the men on the ring there. So they're going to need a lift here, Waveriders, and you feel like a wicket's the best way to do that. And Dan pegs us down here.
Not yet.
Good try. Long a gale here for Marsden, folks. Pushing into that wind, and Sam Wilson again. That fine leg, the man on the ring. Can't get a hand to that one, and that brings another boundary to this total, which now works its way over 60 inside 7 overs. So the run rate flying along here nicely for the Northern Kings. It did look like an absolute cracker out there, folks, with a little look in before proceedings commenced, and looks like it's going to be a bat on here, quite consistent ball coming on quite nicely. Shram sending him down quickly here, but as my colleague Dan mentioned earlier, Hayward with this left-hand, right-hand combination, quite clever tactics here by the Kings. Bushram in again, that's a rocket and a plainer miss by Sam Wilson. Bushram pushing into the wind, so quite a difficult thing to do at the best of the times, and especially as a fast bowler, the last thing you want to be doing is pushing into it. From the breeze, and that brings about the end of 7 overs, 1 for 62 here at Ivor Marsden, folks, and Northern Kings playing the Waveriders, of course. Northern Kings with already a spot in finals action next week. Waveriders on the precipice of a finals berth here if they can manage some points out of their 2 games here. Looks like McNeely to continue. Big 100 yesterday in the first grade competition, but here he is with the ball to Tom Healy. And he just kind of works straight down the leg side there, and Healy's been quite efficient picking up the 1s there. He works that one around the corner to the man at short line for a single, which brings Sam Wilson onto strike. 22 off 21 deliveries, Sam Wilson, and setting the foundations for a good score here. Inside 8 overs. 63, an absolute flyer, almost 9 and over here, folks. Harry McNeely making a change. He's pushed the man at deep square round to deep wicket. The man on the ring. That mid wicket has moved to square leg. Remains on the ring. McNeely in again. It's a bit fuller, and Wilson straight drive. That is absolutely flown past the stumps, and that's another boundary. Beautiful shot straight down the ground, and you can't do much with that.
Cheers, Freddie. Good luck.
It's a great shot by Sam Wilson, and he's really looking good here. Waveriders really going to need to find a wicket here with this team and put a hold on this run rate, which is now pushing over nearly 10 and over. So Waveriders, what can nearly produce, steaming in from the combox end, and Wilson swings that one away, and a crucial stop there at the man at square leg on the ring. This field there would have cost them another boundary with no protection out of that square leg boundary, which is probably what Sam Wilson was looking for there as he opened his front leg up and that inside as well, which brings Tom Healy on strike, son of Ian, and a great young cricketer. 10 off 7 balls, quite efficient, playing a great role here. And just works that one wide of the man at third man, and that's good cricket. Comes back for the second, and that brings 70 up for the Northern Kings. They're flying along here. Off inside 8 overs. Just feel like the Waveriders need a wicket to put up. The breaks on here. A great partnership forming here for the Northern Kings. Tom Healy come in, being very efficient, striking at 150, dealing in mostly 1s and 2s. Bit of a slow ball there, and he works around the corner, misfield at the man at 45, and they come back for 2. And those misfields will cost them Waveriders. They need to spread. Somehow find a wicket here. Chance to spin throughout this competition. It's quite a time, so interesting decision to make the keep pace on so far. Nearly yesterday, the first grade competition. Carries it forward here with the ball, moves it away, and Healy defends that onto the offside for a single. Great batting here by the Northern Kings. It's not a boundary, they're looking for a 2. And otherwise, rotating strike, the right hand, left hand combination. Really challenging the lines of these Waveriders bowlers. And Dan, back in the combox after battling down the hatches here for us in the combox. How are we, mates?
Yeah, I went for a run to go get pegs from the other field where the other Brisbane Premier League game's been playing. Went for a run and then forgot that I was 44. So that was a bit of a mistake, but I'll get my breath back in a moment and watch this excellent partnership between Wilson and Hill.
Which is now pushed the Northern Kings past 70 inside 8 overs, so the run rate 9 and over, and that'll surely be a no ball. Yes, it's signalled there by the umpire, and they're the worst kind of sundry to concede here in T20 cricket, of course, bringing about a free hit, and danger man, the big hitter Sam Wilson on strike now as they push through for a single.
Of course, the advantage, because they took a single release, the Waveriders went to change the field. It's a funny rule, and I'm not sure how to make it better, but Wilson does have the opportunity, and personally I'd like to see him do the Brad Haddon and go behind the stumps and give himself that extra meter to belt it out of here.
Quite a versatile all-rounder here, Kushram, but he's really going to need to dial in here. Free hit, and not too many sundries you have to say, Dan, off this spell so far.
That's been his tournament, unfortunately. He's clearly a very talented bowler, but he's been wayward. We just have to call it like it is.
He produced here, I think the men spread. Drags that one down, and he's put the man down at the square leg boundary there, but of course, as it is a free hit, that'll just be a single. And great catch there by the Gold Coast Waveriders, Hugo Burden out there on the square leg boundary. Been the informed bat for the Waveriders, Hugo Burden, and another 50 yesterday for the Gold Coast Dolphins. They'll really be relying on him to play a big role here, the Waveriders today, if they're going to have any chance of the finals. Single brings Healy back on strike. Here's another sundry down the leg side there.
And Wilson anticipated the wide ball. I think he already had in his mind, if this one goes down the leg side, I'm going to take off, because it's going to take Patrick a moment to get the ball in. And we can get a second sundry there. So Ram, he has dropped his pace today, and he's clearly going for accuracy. I start to wonder actually, if he's going to concede these anyway, why not just bowl the thunderbolts and might at least get a wicket in amongst it? Sean Tate theory.
Yeah, I love that result, that approach too, Dan. And surely he'll be having a chat to the captain with that approach. He's going to tough gear pushing into this steep breeze here at Mars, and he drags that one down. And Sam Wilson proving he has some to go with the power. Just sliding that one down wide of third man, and fielding down there by the man Carroll on the third man boundary.
One of the players just asked for the replay to see if it went over, but it was small near the boundary line. It was too high for you to see on camera, but it was excellent fielding down to third man.
Shramin again, and wow, that has been sent straight past Bushram. Opportunity to catch it, taking his hands with him, and it flies across the boundary down the ground for another boundary. Sam Wilson.
Graham is a good cover fielder. Normally you need hands to be there. I don't think his reflexes are good, let's put it that way, but I think it's a testament to how well Wilson struck it that even someone as sharp as Kush Ram didn't really have a chance there.
T20 fullback Kush Ram. Yes, the Sydney Thunder T20 team. Yeah, but they drag that one down, and Wilson on the back foot pulls that one and beats the man at mid-wicket on the ring, and the man on the boundary at mid-on running around and get through for two. So he's going at 11 and over here. So the experience he had down there with the Thunder Academy really showing fruit so far, Dan.
He
drags that one down again, and umpire hangs him up. Right. Sundries here. He's caught in two minds here, as you mentioned, Dan, between sitting them down and control his line.
He did change the length there though. He thought, well, I'll try a bounce, so I know he can get half volleys. Now does he go with one up around the shoulders?
Tune music there by Bushram, and one wide again. And yeah, you feel like this left hand, right hand combination here from the Kings really throwing the spanner in the works here. All of the seam bowlers, Bushram struggling to adjust to the line here.
He's still thinking about what he wants to do. That's when you're having a bad day.
Again, and Wilson works that one square for a single. What about result?
That's not right. Yeah,
great line there. That's the line you want to see. Wilson, the opportunity to free his hands and get a swing at that one. Maybe the spell here with 32. 3 overs here. One straight down the leg side here for Bushram. To say, used to bowling down breeze, so it's a tough ask here for Bushram to be pushing on the breeze.
He's a strong lad, but if you're a fast bowler, sometimes you've just got to suck it up. Suck it up and bowl it to the breeze.
Bushram in against Healy. That's a big line. Healy able to work that one down to the man. The boundary here at third man, but they come through for two. Blake on the boundary there for the Waveriders. Well, hitting the big hits here, the Northern Kings, they push hard on the first, put pressure on the Waveriders fielders, especially on the boundary, and turn ones into twos, and that's what the best teams in this format do there.
They haven't let the scoreboard rest at all. And even though Rams bowled a lot of poor deliveries, the batters never expected the poor delivery or relied on the poor delivery. They thought, well, we know he bowls good balls every now and then, so when he bowls them, we need to make sure we're not caught out sucking clouds, that we are watching the ball. And they did that. Healy was alert to the possibility of a poor ball in a shot, found that he got a good one, guided it down for a single. The scoreboard did not rest through intelligently.
And looks like the Waveriders have popped it for spin here. Sadar, he's been a great bowler for the Waveriders so far this competition, and he's had a fairly decent start in grade cricket as well, picking up a few poles, 3 for 47 in the first round, and over UQ.
Yeah, actually no, 9.
Team. So what can he produce here? A tough ask with 2 setbacks against the crease now, and Sam Wilson will surely be eyeing a couple of big hits here with the change of pace.
We've not been in Australia long for South. They're from Pakistan, and there's a few players in this Waveriders side who have, in fact, a few players in the competition. We've got a former Nepal representative, a former Punjab representative. It's great to see people getting a chance in Australia.
Sada in again, and that's a great start by the leg spinner, known for his accuracy. A lot of those consonant spinners, quite hard to get away in this format. They've produced numerous iconic spinners in T20 franchise cricket, so Sada will play a huge role here for the Waveriders. For the two great sides so far in his first 2 years here, started off at Redlands and moved over to Northern Districts this season. And not a bad start here. Happy with ones. The Waveriders here. Over to strike, he's got a man cover boundary, long off, long on, deep square and deep mid wicket. So using the full 5 men on the fence here. And defensive approach, probably not a bad approach here, Dan.
The average. Oh, sorry. We'll wait for this
So that's the kind of accuracy they've been looking for this whole inning so far, and Healy just able to work that one out to the man on the cover boundary for a single. Great line here so far from the spinner, putting the brakes on this run rate, and that's exactly what they need there.
He averages about 6, 7 and over and a wicket per inning, Sada, so he's been doing a very consistent job for the Waveriders over the past 2 weeks.
Seen him bowl quite a few good runners so far this competition, so it'll be interesting to see if he pulls that one out. That's a great, nice line with a purchase on that one off the deck there, Hassan Sada. So when it's sitting him down that quickly to be getting a bit of turn, that's going to be a hand for any batsman, and wasn't able to work that one.
Sada just shows that this pitch not only has bounce, but it has turn. There is drool on my screen.
Yeah, we love seeing a bit of sideways movements, and as you mentioned, Dan, traditional spinners. Sideways action's the way to go, and that's a great shot by Tom Healy, just rocking back onto the back foot there, and beating the men at point and third man, but just the two as the man at the cover boundary does the work there, sweeps around, and just the two there, shot worthy of a boundary in my opinion.
Good attempt by Oliver West on point, but it did get through to the boundary. Wasn't that much short, but Healy read it very early.
Using the full extent of his crease there, Healy, that's great batting. And there we go again. Really good batting by the Northern Kings there, and quite hard to bowl to a batsman that really knows how to use the crease. Addy Grill doing the work on the cover boundary there. Great opening batsman, Addy Grill. He's got away a few times the left-hander in this competition. Waveriders will need to for a few in this second innings here. Sada in again. Wilson just works that one into the offside for a single, and not a bad set this one, Dan. It's exactly what the Waveriders needed. And just the 6 coming off that one, they'll take that. That's exactly what the skipper will be after, and what they go for here, Dan. Who's going to be able to do the role at the other end? They feel like they need a partnership to form here, Waveriders.
Well, they've gone straight back to Jackson Smith, and I think sometimes you have to roll the dice in these situations and say, okay, I know I was saving Jackson for the end of the innings, but I need something to happen now. This may just be a one-over spell. This may be a little bit of fire. It's like, okay, Jackson, you know how you envisage yourself being Brett Lee on TV bowling 150? This is your chance. Blast someone out for me. So I like this from Rajiv. It's a gamble because if there's no wicket, then he's also lost Jackson having an over at the death. But against a side with batting as strong as the Kings, I think he just got a roll.
Great shout that, Dan. And Jackson Smith, he's no stranger to pressure. Featured on Cricket Superstar 10 years ago, a TV show by Foxtel, so no doubt a lot of pressure going there, and that competition can he do here as a couple of Magpies join us in the combox. That's a great line and a great start by Smith, but Sam Wilson works that one out to the man on the fence there. And you just feel as a bowler coming in with the field spread, you feel like you've got that confidence having the defensive field. Tough ask. Opening up to informed batsmen with only two men out in this format, Dan.
I never had confidence in defensive field. If I had a defensive field, now the captain didn't trust me. So, but I'm impressed with Eddie Raywall's fielding out on the boundary.
And again, I've seen him play that shot so well time again, Tom Healy, just rotating the strike. And third man for a single. And bad start this by Smith. They really need a wicket though. You feel like Chandrasekhar has brought him on for a wicket. They need this breakthrough. Run rate outside for a wicket.
No bowling from Jared Blake yet. He's out here on the boundary, so Chandrasekhar still have Blake up his side.
Again to Wilson. Slow ball there. Great reception by Smith. He's bowled that well this whole competition out the back of the hands. Wilson only managing a single on the ground.
And we missed the 100 coming up off the previous shot, so this is the in the 11th over. They're still on track for 200 though, the Kings, which would be good in a number of ways. A, for the win, B, possibility of a bonus point, and C, I believe it's quotient rather than net run rate that separates teams on equal points in this tournament. So, but they're going through a speed basically.
Smith and again, that's a great line, but they've done that well this whole innings. Nearly just using soft hands there and working a singles to men on the ring. You feel like what's the point of even having them on the ring, really? You've got to be on one on that ring there, you feel again.
Well, they're saving boundaries. I did notice that the ball was socked through to the stumps there, but unfortunately, I think he put his teammates offside.
Looking to add another contract to his repertoire there. Seen Cristiano Ronaldo go to Man U and thought maybe he's in with a shout too. Smith in again. Wilson elegantly works that one wide of the man at fine leg, and they push hard for two. And just be one down to the man on the boundary.
They know about Jared Blake. I think even Fox in there saying, yeah, go for two if we want. Go for two if we want. No, you're not going to? Fair enough.
Yeah, Jared Blake, great cricketer. All-rounder there for Toombul. They've got a great side out there, Toombul. Great side is so strong, and T20 side especially, so a real beneficial player to have in this Waveriders side, especially coming into the business end of this competition. Smith and again to Healy, what can he produce? Full and straight, and it's a great delivery, just what Chandrasekhar would have looked for. But Healy works that one down the ground for a single, and looks like that's the over from Smith, and no wicket coming from that one. So how do you feel about that, Dan? You know, Chandrasekhar's probably brought him on looking for a wicket. Gives another Smith over, which they would have loved to have at the back end of this innings.
I think at the start of that over, Healy and Wilson would have been saying, look, if we can get 4 or 5 off this, yeah, if there's a loose ball, we'll take it. But if we can get away, none for 4 or 5 in this over, that's a win for us. And that's pretty much what they've done. In fact, they might have even got 6 off that over. Forgive me for not having that at hand. But no, that is a win for the Kings, that over. Still think it was the right gamble to make, as Sada will continue here from the northern.
And don't forget, folks, the batting team have the option of a power surge at only 2 overs after 10, so interesting when they take that one. The Northern Kings, 2 set batsmen here. It's in hands. We've seen teams traditionally take that back end of the innings. Sada into Healy. And a great line, but we've seen him do that well this whole innings, Healy, and he leans back on his back foot and works that one between the gap and third man and point. Come back for 3. Addy Grill mopping up there on the boundary. And that's great batting by Healy, using the full extent of his crease. Hard to bowl to as a spinner when you've got a batsman that can get right back and work it, move past your men on the ring, and then get right forward to your length ball. Sada, say it's a good shot. King's doing really there.
Some people said that T20 cricket could be the death of technique. If anything, it's enhanced it. You can, if you've got a good technique, you can play this form as well.
Wilson, back foot there, just works that one down to mid-on for a single. And not a bad result this. Sada rather. Been a reasonable start here for the spinner. Yet to concede a boundary, but 8.5 and over just shows how well the Northern Kings have been batting. Rotating the stride, Sada in again. Nice, Bobby. Healy. One down the ground for a single. Just no, it's on Sada, but it's take a wicket. He's taken wickets consistently throughout this competition. And
look at the field. Where's he going to take a wicket? How is he being set up to take a wicket? There is no attacking option. He's just waiting for his hit. And that's his captain's responsibility.
So Sada really just bowling to contain the run rate here. And it's a great delivery there by Hassan Sada. And Wilson just slog squeaked that one. That's the good. Where's the other one? The googly, which we've seen him bowl so well throughout this competition. And the left-hander turning away, that is just tricky to play. Sada in again, pulling straight, and Wilson works one down the ground for a single. They really just aren't, modern batsmen just aren't bothered by men on the boundary these days, are they? All they see is, if that's in my slot, I'm backing myself to beat him. And Wilson, with a man at deep mid-wicket, slog sweep was still the option he chose.
Well, he checked his shot at the end there. It didn't follow through. He was just relying on the weight of his back to get the single long off.
Strike. Takes that one out to Addy Gruel on the cover boundaries. Had his work cut out for him out there, Addy Gruel. He's done well, and Hassan Sada, that's his second over and gone for 14 without conceding a boundary. It's pretty tough going for a spinner, but in the pick of the bowlers for mine so far for the Waveriders, and they're going to need a wicket here down the Waveriders. One for 112 off 12. It's not looking good here. The foundations are in place for them to score.
There's also people like Scott Colombo in the lineup who you'll probably see in some years. There is Gold Coast, Rob Fitzgerald, scored some handy runs in those tournaments. Toss, which Wilson would be angry that he wasn't able to put into his grab.
Scotty Colombo there, Scotty Colombo, so being the case that the injury is the only thing stopping the Kings here is nearly in again.
Whipped into the leg side. We go out to the boundary rider, although some excellent work from number 19, who we don't have in the team list, but they've been able to keep it just to the one behind Sweat.
Yeah, so we're 116 for 12.4, 117 rather. I feel like maybe the only option here for the Waveriders is to give absolutely everything on the all-out attack and defensive options.
Run out chance of the bowler's end, the throw missed, and Healy followed through another pitch with the bowler's end. So Healy bowled very tightly, it's given them nothing to get underneath this over. He'll also be as they test out with their balls that we might face with their batting. Lovely Yorker, lovely feeling. Came off his hand too slowly to have the unfortunate run out of the bowler's end, but Healy was quite to it anyway. That's a big win for McNeely. As Healy just had a little chat to Wilson put his hand in the air and say, well, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, this partnership now moving on with 74 off just
excellently favoured. Some good fielding there at mid-off from Hassan Sada, showing that he's multi-skilled. The end of a very good over for Big Deal, just putting them under a little bit of pressure. Wilson on 45. Maybe past that, apologies, 46. But it's been a very good innings and gives the Kings yet another opening option just in case something unfortunate happens in training during the week.
Yeah, and the pressure's on here for the Waveriders. You feel like the finals, chance of a finals berth really slipping away at their fingertips here. What do you think, Dan?
I think that this game was always going to be a tough one for them. The game after this, though, I've just lost my draw for the moment. If you happen to be able to see, in fact, it will be against the Power. That is the one, I mean, the Power have been struggling. They've just lost to the Kings over on the other field before this. If they can win that game, they will probably make the finals. There is a lot of results that have to go against them for them to miss out, assuming they can beat the Power.
A little meeting there for the Northern Kings, so it'll be interesting to see if anything changes here. Wickets in hand, looks like a good track to bat on. If you're a skipper out there, Dan, what are you saying to the boys? What's the approach?
Flipped into the leg side, it's gone deep. Addy Greywell's got to charge into it, which he does. The throw's a little low, run out chance. There's no real excellent fielding from Greywell on the boundary. They went out to Scurrington.
Approaching 50 here, Sam Wilson looking quite mature enough from the left-hander. And great partnership here, 77 off 53 balls. Tom Healy, 34 off just 23, so quite efficient batting as well.
Glad to keep an eye on the partnership. I was just trying to look it up before and ran out of time. So, good ESP there. It's Elliott Sensory Reception. This is the Mazda Premier League. If you're in the Ipswich area, pop on down. That group has clubs now. Straight delivery from Sada. And Wilson didn't know whether it was going to turn. It didn't turn. And he was definitely caught as to whether to flip that or smash it.
Yeah, Sada, clever bowling. Spinner and wrong and got flicking the same out of the hand, and that'd be hard to face as a left-hander.
Big swing. It's gone into the outfield. It's going to fall short of Greywell, who fumbles it, but there's no pressure whatsoever. Just the single. And is that 49 for Wilson? Just want to make sure we don't miss the moment. He deserves attention if he gets to the 50.
Yeah, Tom Healy being a great partner for him. Quite fruitful and no big shots from Healy, but he's really turned the strike over well for Wilson, so it's been a great partnership.
Of course, Healy's strike rate is faster than Wilson's at the moment. Beautiful ball from Sada, but Healy was awake until he just turned the wrists, found the long on. They've charged for it for a second and taken it rather comfortably in the end. That's excellent alertness from the Kings batters.
If you're a bowler, that's the kind of thing that you just hate to see. It only should be one down to your man on the field, so quite frustrating from a pressure perspective there from Sada.
A little short, but the line was good. And good fielding from backward square leg, right up until the moment when he let the ball go. And then it went sailed over the keeper's head.
Sada in again to Healy, who's quite good so far. Promising product for Healy.
And the first poor delivery from Sada for a while. The slog has picked the gap between square leg and mid wicket and trickled over the boundary for 4.
And only his second boundary, Tommy Healy, so he's already coming off just 26 rocks. He's been quite productive working the fields so far, just waiting for that bad ball and wasting no time there.
And if you go onto the BPL app and click on the batter's innings, you get a whole bunch of information about it. One of which I was just interested in. Healy has faced 1 drop ball. That number again, 1.
Yeah, just sort of playing into what we're saying there. Just great conventional cricket from Tom Healy and striking at 150 and only 2 boundaries. That really is a model innings for any youngsters out there.
model innings for any old timers, and in fact, age is irrelevant. It's a model innings, really. But the wagon wheel is here on the BPL app as well. It costs nothing. It doesn't take up much space. Get the BPL app, and then you will know things before we do. But keep us on. Don't press mute. Harry McNeely will bowl his fourth and final over from the... it's not an airport. What do we call that? An aerodrome? The noisy end. The southern or noisy end. Although it was the Magpie family that moved in here before. One of them didn't have the full black colour, which means it's a baby, which means the parents can be aggressive. 50 for Sam Wilson. Batted very cleverly today. Saw the ball in the slot, didn't try to do anything too fancy. Long off, single, 50.
Yeah. Guys, they're only into their third weekend of cricket for the season, but some of them it's their 8th, 9th, 10th innings of the season so far. So a lot of cricket, and one of the best things about this franchise approach.
Even with all the delays, this was never meant to coincide with the grade season, but I think the concept was good enough that players are stuck with it. Healy finally gets inventive, only yields a single on this occasion, but it's probably the first, let's say, funky shot that he's played today.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make out what the approach is here from the Waveriders. It's in defensive all innings, and there's only so long you can sit on the back foot before something needs to change, something needs to happen to change the sway of momentum here, Dan.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with the King's bowling attack either. Slower delivery, that's caught! Caught at mid-off. Wilson got to his 51st, he got underneath that one, hit it to mid-off. It was travelling, but it was low, and the catch was taken quite comfortably. The Waveriders finally have their second wicket, as the new batter will be Luke Hawkins.
Yeah, you have to feel like he's kicking himself there, Sam Wilson. He really laid the foundation for a big T20 knock, power surge still to come. 50 or 45, still nothing to feel too ashamed of.
And you're right, he's set up the innings because it has been a keep singles field. There's been very little attack. And what he's done is set up the innings, he's still able to continue the shed, and he's batted very responsibly for his team without letting the run rate stagnate. Now, if I'm Tom Healy at the moment, the question is, does he continue to play the role he has been and let Pollock go hell for leather, or does he now take over?
Yeah, I'm trying to say for him, trying to keep the new batsman on strike, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with the field here, with just looks like 2 men out and the deep in wicket and long on boundary, so looks like they've taken that wicket and they're trying to really put the foot down here, the Waveriders. I like it.
McNeely with a breakthrough, and any attempts to keep the new batter on strike have failed. That was an easy single to just behind point. And while the throw from Hugo Burden was aggressive, it was also errant.
Yeah, Luke Pollock from the north side is Yarraman, little town in the south of that region. So this thing about this franchise cricket, bringing players from all around the region into the one team, and it's an opportunity here for him with Healy. It's Healy in again.
And that's been the feature of Healy's skills so far. He's wagging his foot which you think is easy until you see it go wrong.
Yeah, an interesting change of safer opting to still just keep 2 men out. So they've gone on the offensive here with the Waveriders, and the men just out at long on. It could be interesting to see if we can pick down the 2 wickets here.
That would be a yes. As the throw to the bowler's end, it's going to go all the way out to the boundary, but the batters well overrun the crease, and so just kept to the single. But McNeely finishes an excellent spell. He was not given much to work with in terms of the field, but he finishes with 1 for 28 off his 4, which is very, very acceptable in the circumstances.
Yeah, and you often see that players that do both bat and ball, when they get into a bit of form with one or the other, they can tend to carry that form into the other format, and with 100 yesterday, McNeely looks like he's carried that form into his bowling today with the Waveriders quite well.
It's interesting you say that about all-rounders. I'll have to do an academic study on it one day, because, I mean, Mitchell Johnson was your classic, where if he batted well, you thought, right, it's him as well. Whereas my memory of someone like, say, Ian was that one was an opportunity to catch up on if they fell to the other. But that's all field, there's no science there at all. It's Jackson Smith to bowl out from the northern end on this occasion. Healy laps and laps well. That's going to go down to the 5-leg boundary for 4, and he moves to 46 in just 30 balls. For someone playing a supporting role, that's what's the word I'm after? Quick.
Yeah, 42, 46 off 30 deliveries and only 3 boundaries, so it looks like he's really going to take the offensive role here for the Kings, and with the field up, you feel like maybe it's going to suit his aggressive game rather than his conventional or traditionally conventional approach, Dan.
Given the field, I'm starting to think we may have missed the signal for the surge. We might have to check it on the app. Which will be very interesting as the signal is taken by Pollock to Gully. It was noticed by Bowden Nicholson, one of our commentators over on the other field. Don't change, you can watch him later. But that the power surge has often yielded wickets so far in this tournament. So maybe cricketers putting a little bit too much pressure on themselves to take advantage of the surge. Mind you, if you've got 9 wickets in the shed, why not go forward as Sam Wilson did?
Yeah, most batsmen tend to just try and clear the ropes. I really like how Tom Healy's the field and his approach has been to try and put it where the field isn't, and Pollock will take that one, stick outside edge, beating the man on the ring at third man, and that's his first boundary.
When I was an umpire in warehouse cricket, we used to call it a warehouse 4. When I played Churches cricket, that was a Churches 4. I haven't played, well, I had one very unsuccessful season of grade cricket. Is it called a grade 4, or is everyone above all that?
Yeah, they all look the same in the scorebook, Dan, and he'll be telling his mates that he kited that one over the man at the third man, on the ring at third man for an elegant boundary, but...
Unfortunately, everyone who just heard you say that has access to the video because they're watching it right now. Jackson Smith. Clever slow ball. The appeal, I think, didn't take into account the bounce, but good fielding at fine leg is just the leg by, so Smith with a moral victory on that occasion.
So if we are assuming we missed the surge, then we have to assume that this is the back end. If that's the case, then you'd have to say the Waveriders would be pretty happy just to concede the 2 boundaries in the power surge so far, and perhaps that's why we've seen Smith come back here into the 16th over. I think it's quite a strange time if you struck bowl and bowl otherwise.
And it will trickle over the boundary. Disappointed with that effort. And unfortunately for Jackson Smith, he finishes with 138 off his 4 overs. I thought he bowled better than Wednesday, to be honest. I think it's a little bit deceived unfairly by those figures.
Yeah, no, it's economy normally to Jackson Smith, so he'll be kicking himself with that one.
Did he bowl badly, though?
Yeah, that's the thing, Dan. The figures don't often reflect how well a bowler's bowled in this format. And Jackson Smith, 38 off his 4. That's the most expensive he's been this series so far.
As Nikhil Chowdhury began this tournament with a bang, bowled well, but 58 off 25, 28 runs and an over on the opening day. That was, let's say against the Dingoes, but I'm prepared to correct Pollock was there for
overs to go here, you have to say that he's probably lining up a score pushing close to 200 again. Dan, second time in this competition after some fireworks last week.
And doing it without Josh Brown, who's playing, that they've pushed him down the order for a break. Pollock advances, plays straight. It's going to need a good effort on the straight hit boundary to get to it. There's a tumble, and it's been unsuccessful. A straight hit boundary from Luke Pollock. And his strike rate at the moment, well above 200. Normally, whoever was the loudest, most belligerent captain bullying the umpire into giving them whatever they wanted. Be glad you weren't there at this. For a stumping from Cotter. The umpire's not interested. To be fair, it's really only Cotter who is. But again, Pollock going for a slog sweep, not taking the bounce into account. And Cotter thinking that maybe Pollock had just slid his foot forward.
Yeah, keepers, they get excited any time the bail's off the keepers, and who can blame them, especially as a spin on Chowdhury in again.
And Pollock with a miss-hit to Kushram at backward square leg. Just a single, which brings Healy back on strike. And he won't be thinking about 50, he'll be thinking single, which will bring him his 50. Like I said, well batted by Tom Healy. That's out 2 points. The throw comes in easily, and Tom Healy, captain today in the absence of Andrew Jody, has his half century.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely pristine innings, you'd have to say, by Tommy Healy. Just worked his way to 30 or 40 in support of Sam Wilson in 1s and 2s and 3s. Only 2 boundaries coming off his first 40 runs, really. So he's really put the foot down now. And with 3 overs to go, be looking to go on the offensive.
And only the 2 dot balls. And in fact, I can't remember the second one. It clearly happened. I was here. I was watching it. But a dot ball for Healy has been rare as hen's teeth. As Hassan Sada will resume his bowling duties from the northern end. Plenty of cricket here at Ivor Marsden today. In addition to the 3 matches in the Mazda Brisbane Premier League, there's also a women's first grade match, the Catherine Raymond Shield, over on the main field here at Baxter. Started with a good length. He was charged by Healy. Healy rips it out to the cover boundary. Kushram doesn't release the artillery from the boundary, and it's a comfortable 2 for Healy. And also a Lord Taverners under 16 game just behind us, between here and the other Premier League game.
Colombo up next to us here in the combat, so it looks like he's getting ready to go in. Wicket result.
Sada wide. It's lofted over point, but was never in any danger. And lovely work on the boundary from Addy Greywell. I need to check with him the pronunciation of his surname. If there is I think he's a Supreme Court judge in the United States who's a Sikh, and he pronounces it Greywell. I like to know these things. I'm that kind of pet. Lofted shot, it's gone straight. There's a bit of a chase around the boundary. Lovely fielding, it's just been kept in. I believe the feet were in as well. Jared Blake on the boundary. And he's done well to save 2 runs for his team there.
Go, Gadget.
As Kushram makes the comparison between Jared Blake and a 1980s cartoon character.
Yeah, and Pollock probably penciled himself in for another boundary there. He got every piece of that. A great fielding on the boundary there by Blake.
Full toss. It's coming out towards Kushram. It is going to land short. And in fact, he couldn't even reach it. No, sorry, that sounded like a full-size ground. It was just hitting the space too well. 4 runs to Pollock, who's decided that the slog sweep isn't going to work today, but using your feet and meeting the ball in the full toss is.
Yeah, and a great shot there. No man on the cover boundary, and he's found the gap, and that'll run away for 4. Quite hard to bowl to. Not a bad delivery there by Sada.
No, indeed. Not much protection on the offside. That one's shorter. It's hit to cover. And is caught by Oliver West. Pollock will be filthy. He went after the shot. Sada, sometimes it works if a leg spinner throws in a rubbish ball if you've been bowling well and being hit for 4. Bowl a half track and see what happens. Oh look, it's a catch to cover. On the highlight reel it won't look great, but I would actually call that clever bowling by Hassan Sada.
Yeah, and as a spinner, it's often not the best ball you bowl that gets the wicket, you find. It's often the bad ball, but they all look the same in the scorebook, and Sada won't be complaining with that one. It does bring that man, Scotty Colombo, to the crease stand.
I'm going to take you to see some professional scorers because they actually do put different things in the scorebook depending on how it looks. So it's, I mean, sure, if you got one of the players' grandmothers at a junior game scoring, then yeah, it all looks the same in the scorebook. But you get someone like Judy Harris, who was a Queensland scorer for years, and she has colours on that scorebook that you do not see on a Dulux paint chart.
Scotty Port there, 20 up 11 deliveries, so quite a productive time at the crease there. And it's a tricky time to come out and bat now, you feel, with only 2.1 overs left. Sada in again. And Colombo works that one elegantly out to the man on the point boundary, and he's off the mark. Really back on the strike.
Except that's the end of the over, so Colombo has just sharped Healy, but Healy being the captain and ultimate teammate, he won't mind at all. So as Elliot says, 2 overs remaining. The Kings, well, 3 for 163. That's more than acceptable. I've missed something here.
Just enjoying your commentary, Dan.
Oh dear.
Hope you all are at home as well. Hope you all are at home as well, folks. Or one of you.
I'm going to. Oh, you've just seen the viewing figures, haven't you? One person watching. Oh, no, it's not on YouTube. 2 overs remaining. From the aerodrome end. Time ball, you would have not there. In fact, it's been called wide. Apologies, I thought it hit Colombo, but it did go down the leg side.
He's not happy with that, the spinner, and you rarely ever are. Love that, love to see that from the leg spinner there.
Colombo whacks that out to the cover boundary. And because, a little bit of a mix-up, Chowdhury has to throw to the Kings end. They've made 2 easily in the end. Healy was pushing for 2. Colombo said, hang on, I just got here, I'm not warm yet. But they've been able to take the 2. I think why Chowdhury was upset before, and I can relate to this, when you bowl a ball that goes through where the batter was standing and they move and heads towards the dead, like some of the other dead people, as that slashed through cover, it's heading towards the boundary. Excellent fielding from Burden. He's able to get it in, and it's just the 2 to Colombo. So these little pairs of runs they're saving could be vital at the end of this match.
Yeah, they want to save as many as they can here, the Waveriders, but 2 great runners between the wickets here at the crease stand, so they won't mind perhaps Kings, as we saw before. Great running between the wickets here by the Kings.
Chowdhury tossed it up, and that's probably the first time we've seen Healy. Sorry, no, that was Colombo. That's the first time we've seen Healy beat him. It's not, it wasn't him. But well flighted by Chowdhury.
Yeah, a bit of drift there from Chowdhury, so I can see that.
Invented batting. Oh, dropped by Ram. Dropped by Ram. I'm not sure we reached that too casually. And it was just dolly up the short fly there. As Ram looks at the ground, hoping for a bit of uneven turf to play for a catchy ball to take every other down.
Jody would have loved the wickets column for his figures here, and he's got another chance there, and he's grabbed a good ball that he's told him to get out. That's a big spinner.
Oh, that's well. He's ended up getting his man. He's got Tom Healy, and they've had a good battle today. Healy, well, that's really the first false shot he's played in his innings. It's been tremendous. A supporting role with the speed of a lead role, and he can be very happy with his efforts today. But Chowdhury kept going, didn't give up, didn't let the disappointment of the wicket deter him, and ended up with a very sharp corner bowl, his second for the tournament.
Yeah, and having to do all the work himself there with the after he's just had to drop the ball before, and maybe a bad shot there, probably more sharp catch from Chowdhury. Probably got all of that Tommy Healy, but it's 3 off just 37 deliveries, quite a productive knock there from Tommy Healy, and new batsman to the crease
is at the crease. I was sorry. This is Indavara Ranatunga, who I believe is Valley's or North. Forgive me for not having it memorised. It's Chowdhury again. It's down the leg leg side. Beautiful sweep shot. That is a proper sweep from Ranatunga. Split the gap between short fine leg and square leg. 4 runs, having just arrived.
Yeah, and Sri Lankan playing a classic subcontinent shot there, the sweep off the first delivery. He's got every piece of that, and he's put that into the vacant land across the road there. Great shot, Ranatunga, and last over, Dan. What are they lining up here? 4 for 173 going into the last over.
Well, realistically, I think the 200's gone. They'd be looking for, I mean, a good over would be 190. Push round will give them opportunities. Let's be honest, he may just as easily take 3 wickets in this over, but you'd have to say that going to 63,
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff they would have drifted for in his time at the Sydney Thunder Academy last year. So the Waveriders will be really backing him in here. Looks like he's really shortened his run-up push run, so not sure what his approach is here, Dan.
he's possibly been told to keep it tight and maybe just make sure that he can bowl this kind of spell as he's coming off 2 paces, flicked out to the leg side. It's not going to be as far as the fielder, but the missed field by Hugo Burden allows the second run to be scored by Scott Colombo. Excellent running from Colombo and Ranatunga.
Burden probably about this time of the crease that's about to come now. Big run chase for the weights for the Waveriders.
An excellent 62 on the main oval last week. That's an incredible shot. It's slapped over cover. That is 6 runs. Down on one knee. Was preparing to play a shot over the leg side. Ram pushed it outside off stump. And somehow Colombo made sure the result was exactly what he intended, even if the method wasn't.
Yeah, and then already that drop could have been costly for the Waveriders. Colombo dropped that short fine the previous over. And 6 already quite costly for the Waveriders, who want to save every run they can here in this final over.
So Ram used the crease well. In many ways, it was the right ball. Into the pads, they'll run a leg by. There's a bit of argy-bargy between Ranatunga and Ram. Ram was up to play for once. That's a terrible pun, I apologise.
Yeah, inspired by the finals footy perhaps. Good to see the doggies last night getting up for a grand final. Anyway, we're getting off the topic. It's Ram in again. Works it to point and they get through for a single. Burden just lobs that one back to Ram. Strike his hand and last delivery there.
So Ram, yes, he conceded the 6. Other than that, not the over of disaster that perhaps might have been feared. That wasn't off the pads, but it was saved wide there. They'll amble through a leg by. That will take the total to 4 for 184. That is an excellent total from the Northern Kings, and they've done it without Josh Brown, without Andrew Godey, but stepping up with half centuries, Jed Wilson and Tom Healy.
Yeah, and you'd have to say the Waveriders, perhaps after the flyer that the Kings got off to there, would take 180. If you gave them that after the power play, they'd probably take that. So 4 for 184, the total there for the Kings, and with finals on the line here, the Waveriders are going to have to come to the party, Dan.
And realistically, if we're looking at the Waveriders batting, I feel that a lot relies on the pairing of Addy Greywall and Hugo Burden. How do you see it?
Yeah, Burden in form, got a 50 yesterday for the Dolphins, so interesting to see if he can carry that form across today into this format. The wicket looks good, so no excuses, and Greywall can get off to a flyer in the power play as we've seen him do so often in this competition. It's the end of the innings, and we'll be back in 5-10 minutes with a light refreshment for us, surely on the cards here.
Let's make it a heavy refreshment. See you in 10, everyone.
I love your commentary, man. You do quite a bit of this stage?
I've done some
Right.
So no, this is on. Go on to the thing and make sure. I'm hoping that I've pulled that out of there. No sound possible. But no, I've just done a season. Oh, yeah. He's the QA.
Yeah.
It
Such an exciting game to commentate.
Fell in love with it, and women's, because of the different stage of its development, it's different.
Yeah.
But I
shooting here. On the shooting here.
What I've noticed when there's cameras, because I'm ready, when the ball is going in, you want space. That's all can get in. And then with a structured roll, whoever's job it is to talk first and describe what's going, particularly when some of the plays on the end, they talk and describe, and then cut off so the other person's got space. So that's what I've noticed. If you want to do
so one of us will describe what's going on, and one of us will describe what's going on, and the other will take control and then wrap it up by the time they're
that's what I think works. Once again, how about it seems like a key to drive. And I actually heard you say on one of the pieces of commentary last week that with I think the KO Saturday game, you turned more commentary down and more practicing.
Yeah.
That impressed me. I thought, this guy knows what he's doing. This is, he wants to learn. So I hope that came across as encouraging rather than patronising. So
no, yeah.
Cool. Did I say something weird before? That's why you were laughing. I can't remember.
I love how you commentate. It's great, and it's good for me as well. Like I've commentated the third weekend now, and having just commentating with so many different people, it's great. Like
it's so good along. So Addy, we've been debating. I'd like to ask you how you pronounce your surname.
It's Garewa.
Garewa.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. So, I found out I think he's a judge in America who's a Sikh who has the same surname as you, and he's taught Americans to say Garewa.
Yeah. Like people say to me, grew up. No, it's not grew up. It's Garewa.
So there's a bit of a gap between the G and the other. It's Garewa. Yeah. I'll do my best. I'm Anglo, but I'll do my best. Thank you so much. Good luck.
I'm going to go get some water.
Go for it. Cheers.
It'll be a boring game because it's what? Then I want the footy. That's what the fans tell me. Very cool. You know what I want. Good to go? Let's get in there, mate. Where are you batting, Hut? If you come out, I'm off.
Field if I have to. No, desperate situation. Yeah, I'll swap with anyone else except for Jack Cooper.
That's privilege. If I'd said that, I'd be fined like the fine legal.
I copped one on the knuckle in the last game.
Oh, is that what happened? Right.
Yeah, so I've started all our stuff, it's all swelled up and everything.
Nasty.
So I was like,
Yeah.
oh well.
You played 1 or 2 games of this thing.
Yeah. May as well pick up.
What was your soccer career like before this?
Oh, I played a lot with like Brisbane juniors. Sure. Yeah.
I didn't know sweaters or something.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
That's good, Josh. Sorry, Daniel, by the way.
As you can tell.
Yeah. As you can tell, I'm
boundary, so great start here by the Waveriders.
Another big hit from McNeely. That's gone over long. 16 runs from the first 3 deliveries. So they're on track for 640.
And McNeely wasting no time. He's quite clearly come out and said, we'll settle this one in a short amount of time, folks. And he's put that one across the road at the Air Force. And he's obviously feeling a bit fresher than I am after my black water. There.
It's actually a tap right in front of us, but there's no kicking on. Have a go. Elliot Lyons is off to refresh. I'm showing the man in front of the camera is impossible, but Jack O'Neill, given the first over. A little bit shorter outside off stump, thrashed by McNeely, and they end up running a signal. There were, I think, 2 misfields as it was to the side, which is not bad. So 17 runs off from Paddy Grable. Left hand cross again. The team going for a left right combination, which is rarer than you think. There was a time in international cricket not that long ago where you could find a right-handed batter in there.
Waveriders so far. This competition playing second fiddle to McNeely so far this over.
Both of his fielders outside of the circle are in what you might call a bovine. One of the wicket behind very wide or not. But he's gone over the offside. 1 bounce, 2 bounces. The kind of shot where you and so 22 runs off the opening over. The experiment for the Northern Kings was absolutely understandable, but on this occasion it hasn't worked.
Yeah, and McNeely carrying his form over again from his 100 yesterday in the first grade competition. He's quite obviously still seeing them like beach balls out there in the middle, and 22 off the first over. It looks like he might make light work of this total there.
Well, he did have to face off spin on that occasion, and he clearly plays that kind of spin very well. But the attack changes now with Rob Fitzgerald, he's certainly above medium pace. He's not express, but he will zip it through. He's had a handy tournament so far.
Fitzgerald here just discussing field options. The skipper looks like they're going to pop with the man at long on to Addy Gould and deep square. So interesting to see what Addy Gould's approach is here. We've seen him play quite well square from the wicket early on.
Fitzgerald from Northern. Swings it down lead side. Now, I do get in trouble for making 80s reference, but I see a lot of Terry Alderman in Fitzgerald's action. Is that a reference that relates to kind of your generation, Alex?
Yes, Terry Alderman, fantastic looking bowler for Australia in the 80s. Yeah.
That's swung into the pad. In fact, that's swung into the pad. It's gone down to the line leg boundary. And in fact, it was, and apologies for misreading the situation. And so, a very nice leg glance from Greywell sees him accelerate the score very handily.
Yeah, 5 off 2 balls here, but he's playing second fiddle here to Harry McNeely, who's 21 off 5 balls with a very attractive strike rate of 420.
Yeah, if he doesn't maintain that, he's going to sink down, really, isn't he? Fitzgerald hasn't found his line yet. That was actually a better line. And a lovely throw from the wicket over the ball. Generally impressive during this time. But I like the look of him. He's come down from further north. I want to say Emerald, but that could be
yeah, Tom Healy plays his club cricket with Addy Greywell, so probably know his game inside out here, so it'll be interesting to see how they approach him here. Tom Healy, of course, the captain of the Northern Kings.
Off the back foot, doesn't make the field, well fielded in the gully. Was an awkwardly bouncing ball.
Fitzgerald don't mind a little bit of outswing to the right-hander, and they bought a slip in, so the skipper obviously not wanting to do that as well.
will drool on my monitor with a slip of the T20 game. Not a bad delivery. It's not often going to the leg side. They'll get 2 for it. Although comes around.
Strike rate, he was playing a spinner up with second over so far. 3 off 7, score at 9 for 30 after just 1.4. Good start for the Waveriders.
In all seriousness, what McNeely's done is taken the pressure off the next few overs. So, acceleration out. Shot straight to the
right down. First over really takes the pressure off, especially big total. Yeah, Gerald again.
Slower delivery picked off the toe into space. That's a lovely filtering, just the well to the slower pace of Fitzgerald's delivery. And it was just a very elegant flick of toes.
Yes, we've seen the Northern Kings get off to an absolute flyer in their innings, and we're seeing the Waveriders get off to an absolute scorcher in there. So perhaps that deck's playing quite nicely with the new ball down.
Elliot has the official BPL app open, and I'm pretty sure you can find a worm on there. If we can get the comparison, I think there's some graphs on there. I think we found the location of Golden Holt there, and they're ahead of Norths on the worm. I'm not entirely sure whether that's happened so far in this series. Possibly the one game they lost to the Northern Magic where Glenn Battachotto remembered that he was Glenn Battachotto and hit, I'm going to say 87 off 43. It was a tremendous innings. I haven't checked the Magic side today. I'm not sure whether Battachotto's back for this one. He's back for finals next week. I think the bookies will be looking at Magic versus Kings just at the moment.
And it looks like the GOAT, Andy Go, lining up and over here. The one for the Northern Kings.
That's Joey Pratt. Yes, you are. But Joey Pratt, who plays for Valleys these days, came down from the country areas a couple of years ago. Still mid-20s. Impressive beard. Keep it important, Danny. Beautiful flick over Swiller. That's 6. It's just landed inside the property boundary fence that's out there, which is a good 10 metres beyond the boundary. But he stepped it off, flicked it over like some Paddy Greywall. That's you'd pay good money to watch that shot, and it's free entry.
Exactly right, Dan. So if you are in the Ipswich region, come down and watch this show here at Gore Marsden Field 3. Paddy Greywell, so good square of the wicket. We've seen him play that shot time and time again so well in this competition today. With protection back on the square of the boundary.
I'm never a fan of setting a field for the last one. I'm going to set a field for the next one. Swatted is the word I was after. It's definitely over wide, long on. It's over wide, long on for 6. The previous shot was elegant. That one was just brutality.
Yeah, and it looks like the Waveriders have made their mind up here. They're not going to play around with percentages. They're going to take the points, or look for the points at least, rather. None for 46 after just 2.3. Great start here on the Waveriders.
Andrew O'Keefe offered them the chance to leave, and they said no deal. But it is good to see a team taking the Kings on. And, well, Pratt's their regular opening bowler, and as I say, he's been impressive. All of the games, including the KO games, end up on YouTube, and you can also access them through the BPL app. So if you hear about a good performance, go back and watch it. If you're flicking through the scorecards and think, oh, what was that innings like? You can see it. Greywell trying to be a little bit clever there, and it didn't work. It's been caught wide, which is, it's the correct decision. I know what Pratt's thinking, which is, hang on, he moved all the way out there. Also because he switched hit, but because he was still batting left-handed when the ball was released. That's the key.
Yeah, pretty rough there for Pratt, but with that offside up, very well, we feel like the conventional approach is probably the better way to go based on how he's been hitting them so far.
I like the De Villiers approach of just being conventional when you feel like it. Good change of pace and length. They'll scramble through for a leg dive, but a moral victory there for Pratt because he held the pace back, dropped the length back, and Greywall just went for a swat that was never in danger of connecting.
Yeah, nice slow ball there from Pratt, and Greywall he wasn't minding the look of Pratt, so strike probably not where he wants to be, nearly on the strike.
You can't really see it from here, but in previous games I've seen Pratt get a lot of sideways movement. So might need to get the protractor out and see if I can measure just what Pratt's able to do here. The wind has died off, which is good for the commentators, not so good for the bowlers. No run, the inner ring on the offside was on that very quickly.
And both ways. Have a bowler, Joseph Pratt. Often these days you get bowlers that can bowl both in and out swing, especially in T20 cricket. I like to see.
Yeah, there was a time when you couldn't get picked at upper levels if you couldn't swing it both ways. There's football specialists these days. Aggressive approach from Pratt. Not that McNeil's been shy himself. But Pratt with a couple of waves. He was flicked early, but he exited the over very cleverly.
Yeah, probably not too happy with 13 runs coming off his first over, and again, not an accurate reflection of how well he bowled there, rather good batting from Addy Krul. Both batsmen off to a fly here for the Waveriders, and that's exactly what they want. 48 off just 3 overs, so interesting to see what the Kings go for here. Looks like discussions are underway there between Giddy and Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald to continue.
I always like the Queensland Fitzgerald inquiry.
So far, and after 50, it's in hand, and these two boys underway here.
We're in danger of thinking there wasn't going to be a contest with Kings getting 180. It certainly is. Blackwell will get a 4 for King Beatty. He stepped out to the offside, looking to work it over the lead. Fitzgerald went further, and Greywall said, "All right, I'll go further still. I'll whack to behind point for 4."
Yeah, we thought the Kings got off to a fly. We're just looking at the worm graph here, and the Waveriders making a work of the run rate so far. And with a 180 total, we want to be on the front foot early, and that's exactly what they've done here early. Good start here for the Waveriders.
Unfortunate the vision from the first few overs of the match. Missing moves and taking we apologise for that. But Cooper got off to a very good start for the Kings. Greywall, it's into the leg side. It's not going to get as far as only a 4. Again, hitting into the wind, he probably timed that better than some of the sixes he hit at this end, hitting into the other side. But just the
run rate at 16. Waveriders. Wouldn't mind how things have gone so far. Fitzgerald, back foot here.
Advancing. Yes, so these two are definitely taking over the Wilson play at the top. As long as they have someone behind them, they can the fact that they have no one to go there, they can do just that.
Yes,
Inside again, it's holding up in the breeze. It's just enough on it. Let's say 3 metres. And Danny Greywall is having arguably his best innings in the tournament.
Yeah, and if you looked up in the textbook rather of how to play the power play, that's exactly what you'd find. Last ball of the power play going for a 6 and 60 power play. Waveriders probably couldn't have asked for a better start than that, and the Northern Kings aren't used to being in this position yet. Early here, and 180 the total. Interesting to see how things will play out here on in.
Well, they made 1/3 of the target, 150 overs. Now, I realise the field is going to be a lot more defensive now, but they've really broken the back. Something that's been happening 4 runs off 24 overs. They've 16 balls.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of playing a lot of T20 cricket. These players now, it's their 6th or 7th game of T20 cricket already in this competition, and it looks like the new bowler is green.
This is still Jack O'Neill. He's out here big like a big like a Eddie! Action bowling. Again, just days. Last week is Nikhil Chowdhury issues instructions to his team, but O'Neill bowling nearly off the shotgun.
He's not even bothered running there, McNeely, so he knows he's got a good piece of that. Good pick here, McNeely. Danger signs for the Kings.
Went for the same treatment, squeezed its big Rungaria and backward square leg. It may just trickle over the boundary. Oh, very close. The fielder believes he's kept it in. He's run a chicken out there. The keeper's been a run out. Okay, a bit of an argument here. The Waveriders players off the field are saying it was a boundary. I must say, my view from here was that it did just go over. However, there is no way that Runachuk could have known that. He was just sprinting for the ball. Rungaria was there as well. The bat has ended up in the middle of the pitch. In fact, it has now been middle of the boundary. And I think the right decision's been made there. I'm happy with that because that's the kind of stuff that can really fracture a game.
Yeah, you wouldn't like to see him go in circumstances like that. And from our position here, it didn't look like it had crossed the boundary. So, right decision's been made there, and McNeely had to finish his total. And to the total of the Waveriders as they move along to 72, so run rate continues here. Looks like they've made a swap, and the man has now gone back to the backward square boundary. So, protection there now for O'Neill.
O'Neill again, reverse sweep, and that is timed and placed perfectly. 3 balls, 3 boundaries this over for Harry McNeely, who began with a bang, let Eddie Greenwood take over, and is now taking tackling again.
Yeah, and pretty tough ask here for the off-spinner O'Neill. Hadley, McNeely just in the form of his life, and hitting boundaries for fun here, and the Waveriders don't mind it.
His 50th series. Good change of footwork from McNeely. Only went to the point where it was fielded well by Rob Fitzgerald. So he's going to take the top ball back. O'Neill, that's come off the leading edge, out towards cover, 1 bounce into the fielder. Cooper didn't really have a realistic chance there. They run a single. But a rare moral victory for Jack O'Neill.
Looks like he darted that one a bit quicker there, O'Neill, so not going to toss it up as much to McNeely. Darts that one in and gets him off strike. That's the result he'd be looking for. 1 to count.
Nothing wrong with the dart as long as you haven't been bowling skills. Save those for British pros. out. Probably being pushed past Oscar Greywall. Well, he showed that he can. None for 77 off 5. The run rate required was 108 off 90. Someone watching this game is just working that fast at the moment.
Yeah, only 7 and over required now here for the Waveriders. It's the benefit of a crackerjack start, Dan. With Ripper power play and another great over, the over directly after the Waveriders can just cruise to victory now as the field spreads.
How many runs, boy?
Yeah.
How many runs?
Change of bowling here at the northern end. More leg speed with Gopi Rangaria.
77, also.
It was lovely when I had a brief chat with him before the game. And you can see he's a shorter person, which means he can toss it up and still be defensive if he needs to be. A little short and a little wide, and well fielded at backward point. They'll keep it to a single, but nearly is able to get off strike. He moves to 42.
Yeah, I love seeing the skipper show faith in the young spinner here, and crunch time. So a big opportunity here for the young leg spinner.
Is it young?
20, the young leg spinner.
Okay, I apologise, that is young.
Go, me!
He doesn't remember the Sydney Olympics, he's young.
Go!
Lovely flight, it's just cleared the field at mid-wicket, and it's split the fielders on the mid-wicket boundary. That's a very well-placed four by Addy Greywell.
Yeah, you'll often see the batsman try to get a boundary away early in the first couple of deliveries, especially to a spinner, really puts them on the back foot for the rest of the set, so it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds.
They whiff the spin very well. This one's lofted. It doesn't look like it'll be 6. There's a fielder underneath at a deep mid-wicket. Has taken the catch, a small juggle, but the innings of Addy Greywell ends. A superb opening stand finishes on 82, Greywell on 36, and the catch eventually taken, I believe it's Ranatunga, I'll confirm that in a moment.
Yeah, and a great comeback there by the young leg spinner. After a boundary, it would be easy to just start darting them in, but he tossed that one up, and Addy Greywell took the invite, and that brings the informed man, Hugo Burden, to the crease. So interesting to see how they go from here, the Waveriders.
One of my favourite quotes about T20 cricket, Kevin Peterson, who was really one of the first batters to master the T20 format, and his big phrase about it was, you've got more time than you think. You do actually have time to play yourself in a little bit. So Burton, from what I've seen, plays himself in anyway, but the magnificent start in Greywell and McNeil means it's giving him an initial permission to, an additional permission to just play into his innings slowly.
Yeah, we saw Tom Healy play that role to perfection in the previous innings, so Burden looking to play a similar role here. McNeely seeing them like beach balls, 42 off 18, so no rush here for Burden. He can play himself in, knock him around, and if he can model anything similar to what Tom Healy played for the Kings, he'll be doing the perfect job for the Waveriders.
When you're bowling to a batter who's seen them like beach balls, you have to bowl like a security guard at the Gabba. But Rangaria, as you indicated before, his courage to keep throwing it up was just superb. Now the batter's crossed, so it will be McNeely on strike. 42 off 18, he's going all right. Beautiful by Rangaria, just the rest. McNeely.
In Burden's game in the last 12 to 18 months, the ability to work the field, nearly on strike.
There we go, that's McNeely down the field. Good fielding by But no, you're right. McNeely on that previous shot did jam down the very hard, so I'm interested to see if the chip came out of that.
Vernon on strike here as I struggle to contain myself with 10 strokes.
He is elegant, but easy single. So far, the right two balls facing silver.
Yeah, he's winter in the NT, so a lot of one day in T20 picked up there this winter. Hugo Vernon.
Where many years ago, Waveriders grew his moustache. He was clean shaven in Nolan Grade cricket 1 year, went to the Northern Territory, came back, long hair, big mo. Darwin has a lot to answer for. Good off drive, just goes down to the boundary.
Same line middle that McNeely swapped out first ball with his new bat and down the middle first drop.
Just a bit like a fake ass. Just flip the wrists. Very similar on the wagon as the previous shot from McNeely.
Yeah, from what I've seen of Burden, this kind of role suits him to a T, so partnership here I would say. Waveriders. Neil.
McNeely aggressive against that. 6 runs. And 50 for Harry McNeely in 22 balls. I don't think this year can be 22 balls going to be right up there. The chase of the ball has gone across on Toowoomba Road. Not as far as Toowoomba Road, but it's been sensational to watch Harry McNeely.
Yeah, he's really lined up Jack O'Neill and you see Tom Healy, the skipper there, just going up for a little pep talk and change of feel. Nearly, he's really liked the look of O'Neill so far, Dan, and you have to say he's looked better of him so far.
Just the Kings finding other ways to win. Play eight really works. It's been working beautifully throughout the series. Now they've qualified for the finals. I mean, there's no real home ground. There's no real advantage of finishing first as opposed to fourth. So why not see how the playing beat goes? Not well so far, but you've got to find out. Lovely mode outfield here at Over Marsden. And I'm not even sure you can recall the first.
They could work on those bat as well as they can left-handed as they can right-handed. And really just swapping hands there and guiding that past the man on the ring at third man for the boundary.
Rangarita having to go for a chase during his bowling spell. No bowler wants that, just trust me. That'll be fine. The field is long off and long on, quite wide. You have a lot of room to play.
Proving to be as efficient as the one before, and near 100 yesterday and already a 50 so far today. So good signs here for the Waveriders. To birth a final slot here in the inaugural competition of the Brisbane Premier League.
And this would be what they didn't expect. I think they have the power trip. They said, well, they'd be confident they'd be aggressive, but in their heart of hearts, I'm not sure that they would have short the match.
They'll take the intimidation points into the finals. Nonetheless, another team has been able to show face to the Kings so far, but signs so far for the Waveriders.
So Rangarita, 5 outside. They've got the wide log off and the wide log on, 2 in the cow region, and then 1 at very deep points. They're talking about into the gap 2 at deep midfield. So Burton advances the score and says, Harry, you might enjoy this.
Yeah, but he's leggies himself, so yeah, you have to say he's probably going to play the spinner pretty well. Nearly seeing them pretty well himself, so again here.
McNeely did time or place that one as well as the one at this end.
Yeah, well fighting there from Rangarita. Field protection back on the boundary boundary, so tossing it up. We like to see that from the spinner.
That one got stuck in the hand, and he split the gap. 4 runs between the fielders at square leg and deep mid wicket, and McNeely marches on.
Yeah, not much margin for error when the batsman's seeing him as well as McNeely is here and dragging that one down Ramgarria, and why he got stuck in the hand there. Ramgarria, he's been tossing him up well, and that one was dragged down to McNeely, letting him know about it on the scoreboard.
There's his delivery, hit behind square, but that's good bowling to the field from Ramgarria.
Yeah, pressure's on here. Like McNeely on the front foot, so Ramgarria really going to have to lift here. Interesting to see how he goes.
The reverse sweeps in fashion, and so far this over, it's yielded no runs.
Well though, but I feel like there is maybe better options to score, although who are we to judge? McNeely obviously knows how to add a few runs to the total.
Ramgarria is getting more bounce than the Sultans. That was a fine delivery, maybe just bunted it down.
Yeah, perhaps farming the strike there, McNeely. Doesn't mind this end here. Interesting to see if they keep Jack O'Neill on. He's bowled 3 overs for 52. But again, figure's probably not telling the full story. Probably hasn't bowled badly, rather McNeely just seeing them pretty well.
I'm looking around and just seeing what changes he might make to the field. The wind is blowing in a particular direction. There's quite often what you do in this situation when that is straight free is to bowl one side of the wicket, making sure that you actually bowl one side. Sure, they can get across the line, but at least you make that attack risk. And I'm not sure that really made the batsman do something terrible.
Yeah, shout down, and so far this competition is the standard has been really high. If you miss, you go the distance, and that's practice for these young bowlers. It's a tactical game like it is at the top, and a lot of young players in this competition. It's going to exceed the skill set.
Many things I love about the Brisbane Premier League. It's the colour, excitement, and skill level in the Premier League, but without the cheerleaders. It's a welcome subtraction. As Jerry Pratch resumed from the southern airfield end. Full toss outside off stump, which is swatted between fielders towards the boundary as well as place. Fielded on the boundary with the 2 converging fielders helping each other out, and a moving counts to 2 runs to begin.
Interesting to see what his approach is here. He's got a man on the mid-wicket boundary, protection, bit off deep cover at 2 points. So Joseph Pratt here can get the breakthrough for the Kings.
Slashed out to deep cover, they will amble a single, and the fielder on the boundary will show an equivalent amount of energy.
The other format of cricket, you'd have to say that's probably going to sail into the boundary, but just the one for that shot, and Burton on strike here, 6 off 4.
I think it's still a single, really.
Yeah!
That could sail, it's one bounce over the boundary, but inventive batting from Burton took the step outside off. I think it looked a little top edgy when he did it, but I think he might have actually got it a bit sweeter than that. How do you see it?
Yeah, he's seeing him pretty well, Burton, and he had a big partnership with Hayden Kerr yesterday for the Gold Coast Dolphins, who of course had a contract with the Sydney Sixers. So a little bit of inspiration there. Saw Hayden Kerr play that shot pretty well yesterday. Burton looking at himself, and not a bad reputation that one did.
Great cricket on Premier League cricket. A full toss, Pratchett not finding his length. That's bunted by Burton out to cover. Yes, KO freebies. It's been a wonderful boon for community sport. As the name suggests, you just get an account, you don't have to put in your credit card details, and lots of sports. bit length. It was slower, it was Yorker length. Nearly did well. It was kind of a shot that could have had it asking for another bat.
Yeah, Joseph Paddy's bowled that slow ball well out the back of the hand, and he nailed that one again. They'll take a single from McNeely the way he's been hitting them so far. But Burden, strike, he seemed pretty well himself. Already 119 runs coming off the first 9 overs here for the Waveriders, so with 180 chance to for the win. The Waveriders look like they want a bit of extra rest between games here. McNeely 67-32, and you are just joining us. Looking forward to rewinding this game and watching the power play. Stop that from getting away.
Or it's on YouTube, so if you're particularly boring music this week, just go back and watch the replay of Harry McNeely going to town.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far, and classic T20 cricket here on display at Marsden. New bowler, Hilton Cochrane in here. So 4 matches, 1 wicket, and an economy of 5.75. They were inclined to an economy of 5.75 here. Waveriders getting a long run rate of 13.3 so far today. Vernon 12 off 7, playing the support role here for McNeely. And Hilton Cochrane. Vernon knocks it straight back, and he's got a hand on that one, and it's knocked the bails off. But McNeely not interested in any singles, and he's not backing enough for a run out there.
Good agility from a tall man. He's really very strong, Hilton Cochrane, but I'm impressed that he's able to get down to that one.
Yeah, so the field's spread pretty evenly. You've got a 4-5 field length side. And again to Vernon. And Vernon's kind of opted for a reverse kind of flick, and he's got a leading edge, which has taken it down to the man at 45.
You know, it reminds me that they used to teach me the cut shot back over square leg.
When T20 first started, they made a bat with a face on the backside. And Vernon finding a little conventional approach there. Cochrane into the leg stump, and has the leg through for a leg bite into the total, into the figures.
I've actually haven't seen some good quality pace in these things where it takes the pace off the speed of that bounce. So, Cochrane, if he's smart, he won't keep banging it off the finish. He'll make sure that he lands on the thing, and he just lets it time.
Vernon opting to try and then reverse flick again, and this time he's got the full face, and that runs away for a boundary, beating the man at short third. Great shot, Hugo Vernon, towards the total, and perhaps that's what he was looking for in the previous delivery, Dan, but using the side of the bat that his bro would suggest is probably the more preferential side.
There is a manual that comes with by that, so they generally always recommend that place.
Length from Cochrane. Vernon holds his hands over that one to recover, and there's a collision between the bowler and the man at cover as they try to stop the two, but the result is not there. He's shaking his ankle game at T20 for a bowler, especially when the batsman can play conventional cricket as well as they can unconventional. Change of bowler and with binoculars, what do you see?
No, it's still going to be Joey Pratt. I did see Sam Wilson here in the past. There were some, I think it's going to be
Slashes at that one, they have protection on the ring, and that's gone straight to the man at point for a dot. So when you inside tell to whether or not they've called power surge, you'd have to assume so with the run rate flowing as much as it is and only 2 men out, you'd have to assume that maybe that's what they've called the Waveriders.
And I think that also explains why Pratt's been kept off as well. So forget it. Several years for Emerald Brothers goes to Pratt.
That reverse flick again, striking at a similar strike rate to myself, us here at the com box with our surge calls, and he's missed that one and goes for a 3 dot.
I love it when batters miss that song and they look to the umpire and say, well, the umpire's successful. What the play the shot?
That one will be pushing them wide, and the umpire hangs them up. One to the sundries and an extra delivery here in the power surge. Skipper Tommy Healy will be looking for. With an average of 9, he'll be for a pole here. 29.
What are you talking about, Linus?
More of a slash, yeah, that one. But nearly leads on his bat at the non-strikers end. 76 off 37 in the play for himself so far, but non-strike. Lining up the vacant boundary on the leg side, but it's on the result. Nearly might have not hit the strike. Here, Waveriders 1 for 137.
So well. As soon as it's ball, it affects me. Waveriders, he's not there. We really need to get the let's have it. If it doesn't work, it's shit. If you suddenly lose 3 runs, but
yeah, it definitely takes the pressure off coming into the second game this afternoon for the Waveriders, and perhaps then frees them with the opportunity that the Kings had in this game, where they're able to give an opportunity to another player in the team.
We've seen that throughout
power surge. They've gone with deep square and deep mid wicket. Fitzgerald finishing the box now, swing up. Pretty straight, and Fitzgerald does the work with his own bowling, and that's a dot. That one down the ground, just the one, so it's been a good over this by Fitzgerald. They played T20 cricket yesterday in the Gold Coast comp, so no stranger to T20 cricket so far this season, and good man to bring on in the power surge. He's really putting the brakes on here. Fitzgerald to Burden. Burden guides that one again. He's played that shot well so far this innings. Flips the bat over, third man on the ring, and that's 4 runs. Burden, he's worked his way to 24 from 16 deliveries, so he's playing that role that we saw Tommy Healy play so well in the previous innings. Quite well.
Very fine gap between conceding 1 off and over and conceding 5. Kudos to Hugo Burden. He was good enough there to get his timing right on the reverse shot. Placed it perfectly. But I think Rob Fitzgerald, he's just bowled the best over of this innings. I think it's daylight between him and the next batsman.
Yeah, not much you can do there. If the batsman's willing to take the risk of a reverse shot on the last ball of the over to try and get a boundary, then hats off to him. It's the only runs they can get, then not much you can do as well.
The 7 runs off there, we forgot about the singles earlier on, but they were almost forgettable because Fitzgerald was keeping so tight. But Waveriders on top of the required run rate, currently 5.13 with 9 wickets in hand. It's the Waveriders to lose now. That's me cursing the game because I'm a commentator and that's what we do.
Again, and McNeely dances down the track. He hasn't got all of that. The man on the boundary mid-off comes running in and he's put down. Tricky opportunity. They're the ones you need to hang on to, Dan, if you want to take the game from there now. You've got to take any opportunity you can.
Sam Wilson batted very well today. He knows he's going to get the attention that one. Time to put it behind him. Take the next opportunity. Don't worry about the last one. It's about the next one.
Grant tosses that one up, and McNeely switches hands, which we've seen him do so often today. He plays the boundary again. The third man region copying an absolute battering there.
Brendan had 1 century in the not sure if there's any being scored on the outfield, so it matches happening simultaneously. McNeely up to 82, I believe. 84 perhaps. This is, 84. This, it's stuck, I mean, okay, it doesn't work. I mean, he deserves a century, of course, that's not how century plays. You've got to pick one.
Picks that one out. There's a man on the fence at deep mid wicket. He's running around, but the man at 45 beats him to it, and they settle for 1. So, Angaria, he won't be too happy with the drop. He thought he had his man. And a life for Harry McNeely. It's going to be a race between 200 and
unlike his temperament, he actually doesn't need himself up with his dominant delivery. Good for a leg spin.
Push that one through a bit quicker on a leg stump line and Burton can't through his hands with it.
I think he can reduce the overspin as well, so actually floating out towards the unexpected length.
Right now he comes down the track, he's going to give Wilson another chance, he settles under it and he's not going to drop that. He gets a second bite at the cherry and he takes full advantage. That's the end of Harry McNeely, 85 off 44, and you called it earlier in the over. That's the...
It doesn't matter how bad or inexperienced a commentator you are, once you get a microphone you have a curse. But let's get away from me. Harry McNeely, 85 off 45 balls. It's been a pleasure to watch. He attacked early. He didn't let the opposition intimidate him. He didn't let the total intimidate him. He took his form from yesterday, thought, now I know what I'm doing here. I just need to remember my processes, remember my skill set. And that has been a wonderful intervention. And it's now up to the incoming back from Patrick Potter, who's been moved up the order to help Hugo Burden finish off the job.
Another bad weekend out for Harry McNeely. Nearly 200 runs himself coming off his bat this weekend. He'll take that.
And of course the century yesterday was in a loss. I think he'll enjoy 85 in a win, if that's how it turns out, a lot more. Well, I mean, let's face it, all the batters who say we don't look at our stats, that's what they're like. But I think they genuinely do want to see their team win, particularly involved in the Waveriders. It takes them 90% of the way to getting that focus.
Yeah, let's hope the commentator's curse doesn't run across to the results. The Waveriders have done all the hard work early here. Looks like Fitzgerald's going to bowl out here. 3 overs for 34 so far, so it's going to be a tough day out here for Fitzgerald. Going at 11 and over. Bird now, the established batsman of the crease. He's moved himself along to 29 off just 18 deliveries here, Burden. Sitting at 2.156. So Fitzgerald now with an opportunity with the field back. Burden to face. Jams that one in and Burden gives himself some room, frees his hands and skies a cut shot over point, and that runs away for a boundary. Clever batting there by Hugo Burden using the crease, and that's 2 for Rob Fitzgerald. He's got protection on the leg side, but no protection out there on the offside boundary. Great batting by Burden. He moves along to 33 off 19. So moving along quite quickly here for Burden. And the score as well there. They need to move over here. Burden just settles for one, and the man, the green that one down to the man on the fence at long on, and they settle for one. And 13 runs now required, so should be a comfortable victory here for the Waveriders. It's more the case of whether they can pick up the bonus point. They've got 2.1 deliveries to pick up the bonus point, so it should be a shooting. Vernon backs away, but Gerald follows him and works it to the man on the ring. Good wicket, but they come back for two. That's good running by the batsman.
Wasn't much of a misfield offering, but they were onto it. And each ball's now run a ball that was 14 off 13, it's now 12 off 12 to get the bonus point. They can do it almost risk-free. Healy, I'm not sure whether the Kings have done their sums and work out whether they can afford to drop the points. Having said that, it almost implies that the Kings have got extra gear to go to. I think they've been trying to stop this onslaught. They've just been unsuccessful. Third, 46 off. Beautiful watching this so far. Lee Hungary is again Hungary is going to bowl out far end. He's got 2 for 27, and again his technique shown through his bowling has been a highlight of this episode.
Yeah, I've loved Tom Healy's captaincy again, backing his young spinner in here. Him on in 2 wickets to result, so take the advantage of the wickets in wide crease. And Qantas is over to join the party. He gets down on one knee with a slog sweep, and then out corner runs around and they just turn result with it.
It's clearly difficult for me to identify.
Cotter frees his hands, lofted cover drive. The man on the boundary at long off runs around and they just stick to 2 there. Great shot there by Patrick Cotter. He's come in and it's classy. They're playing that shot well over cover.
Yeah, tried to do a few go there. Might work, but the keeper's an aggressive bat. It's off.
Defends that one back down the ground. Both men on the fence. It's an easy one. And Graham Guerrieri is probably looking for a wicket off his last delivery on his 4th, but he'll settle with a single. 2 for 33, not bad figures considering the run rate.
He's been the star bowler today. Fitzgerald's done well in patches, but Graham Guerrieri's been good today. And he's right way. I like this thing.
Traditional leg spinner give it a go and do well in this shorter format. You can see spinners just started in with a straight field, so good to see a spinner trying to turn.
Burton needs 3 runs for his 50, and the Waveriders need 3 runs to win. And Collins got the strike, and Calvin Cochran finally gets a bowl in the depth of the
On the cards had the Waveriders batted first, so we've seen the runs flowing freely here in Marsden. Full and straight, and somehow misses all forms of woodwork, and that's through to Healy and Brendan.
As my junior track choice used to tell me, the falls comes you like a cloud, and it just pick that
that one over the point. And that'll be the win. And that is convincing selection for the Waveriders. They can cut the most points. And that is, if you want to do a run chase, that's probably as good as you ever want to do one.
We'll just go through the card. Harry McNeely, 85 off 45. You and I decided Paddy Braywell, 36 off 15. Hugo Hearn, 47 on our It's been a surprising, and upsetting, like all the upset was being stood over the line with this one. The Waveriders have taken and it doesn't expect. Sure, the Kings were playing a variation of it, but the Waveriders came over and they have
Yeah, it's the third weekend of competition, folks. The players coming from different parts of Queensland. I feel like the team is coming together probably more and more every week. And the Waveriders, with their performance to date there, it's a convincing win, you'd have to say, for the Waveriders, and that'll send shudders through the other teams in this competition. Convincing win, and that's all we have time for on this field. Here for the Waveriders. You've done the maths with their bonus point system for their death.
Well, I can say the Kings are now they will finish this first on 20 points. The Magic on 21 their games the Dingoes are on 15. The Waveriders have gone ahead of it. The Waveriders now third. They're on 16 points. So if they were to get another win with a bonus point this afternoon, they'll be guaranteed of third is the absolute so they have all but qualified for the final. The Waveriders and the Kings, they already have.
So entertaining game this one, folks. Thanks for joining us here at All